Hi class, today we're going to be going over place value with 3 digits. Okay, so by the end of this lesson, you should be able to know that 345 has 3 hundreds, 4 tens, and 5 ones. But before we jump into that, let's go over today's standard for the class, okay? So for today's standard, you're going to be able to understand 3-digit numbers, all right? The first digit is the hundreds, the middle digit is the tens, and the last digit is the ones, okay? So we're going to start with something that we can touch to help us get familiar with 3-digit numbers. But before we jump into that, I want to go over our prior knowledge check, okay? So last year, you guys learned about 2 digits, and today we're learning 3 digits. So for 2 digits, let's break it down and let's look at the number 45, okay? So looking at the number 45, that has 2 digits. Can somebody tell me, thinking, using their prior knowledge, looking at the number 45, where the tens place is? Think with your share with your partner where you think the tens place is in this number. That's correct. The tens place is the 4. In 45, it is the 4. That is the tens place, okay, for 40. Now that you solved the tens place, where's the ones place in 45? That's right. It is the 5. The ones place is the 5 in 45, okay? So now that we talked about that, now we're going to be jumping into our 3-digit numbers, and we're going to be using blocks, something that we can touch to help us formulate what these numbers are, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the number 231, okay? Looking at the number 231, we're going to start with our hundreds block, okay? So this is our hundreds block. Can you guys tell me what you think, why this is called a hundreds block? That is correct. That is because it has 100 ones, okay? There are 100 ones in the 100 block. And to break it down even further, that means there are 10 blocks in our 100 block, okay? So then we're going to look at our tens block, okay, our 10 stick. This is because it has 10 ones. So 10 of these make up the 100 block, right? And if we look at our ones block, all right, our ones block, 10 of these make up our 10 stick, okay? So looking at the number again, 231, we're going to see that that has the number 2 in the 200 spot, okay? So let's highlight that blue so that you guys can see that this is the 100 spot, right? Because it is the first digit, okay? So number 2, 200s. So that means we need 2 of the hundreds blocks, right? We need 2 of these, all right? So besides the 2 of these, now we got to look at the tens. How many tens blocks do we need? Looking at this number, that is the middle digit is the tens. So this is the middle digit. The middle digit is the 3, right? So this is the 3. That means we're going to have 3 tens blocks, okay? So count with me. We got 1, 2, 3, okay? So we got 3 tens blocks, and we have our 2 hundreds blocks, okay? Next, we have our ones spot. So let's see, we have our hundreds, we have our tens. The last digit will be our ones. So in this number, we have the number 1. So I'm going to go highlight our one spot, which is our 1. So that means we only need one ones block, okay? So here, oops. All right, here is our ones block, okay? So now we have our 2 hundreds blocks, our 3 10 sticks, and our 1 ones block, okay? So that means that looking at our sentence frame over here, 231 has 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 1 ones. Okay, so that's how we do it using blocks. But what if we don't have blocks and we want to solve the number? All right, so let's look at a next number. Let's look at the number 364. Okay, looking at the number 364. So if we don't have blocks, but we want to solve the place value for this number, let's start from the beginning and break it down. Okay, so the first number, right, the first digit is the hundreds. So looking at this number, what is the first digit? What is the hundreds for this number? That's correct. It is the 3. That is the first digit of this number. Is it 4? No, it's not 4. 4 is the last digit in this number. So let's look at 3, okay? So that's our hundred. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. 3. So if we don't have blocks, we can always draw it, okay? So for this, the hundreds are always going to be boxes. So we have 3, the number 3. So we're going to draw 3 boxes. So 1, 2, 3. 3 boxes, okay? That's just like if we look at our anchor chart over here, we have 3 boxes to represent the 3 hundreds. Okay, so moving on, we have our 3 hundreds. Now we have to look at our tens. Where is the tens digit in this number? That's correct. It is the 6. Good job. So the 6 is our 10 spot. So for our tens, instead of drawing 10 boxes, we're going to draw sticks for our 10 sticks, okay? And we have 6 of them. So we're going to draw 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tens, okay? Now looking at our ones, what number is left that can be our ones? The 4, that's correct. And that is because it is the last digit, okay? Our last digit is the ones. So 4. So for this one, we're going to draw dots to represent our ones. And we have 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ones. All right. So now that is how we draw it for the number if we don't have blocks. Or it's also a faster and easier way to use instead. So using our sentence frame, let's break down the number. So 364 has 3 hundreds, 6 tens, and 4 ones, okay? So that's for our number 364. All right, so let's do one more together at a little quicker pace, just so you guys get that idea. Okay, so let's look at the number 421. Okay, so the 421, can someone tell me where the hundreds place is? That's correct. It is the 4. The 4 has the hundreds place. So what is it that I'm going to draw for the hundreds? Boxes. That's correct. We're going to draw boxes. So we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Okay, and can someone tell me where the tens place is? The 2, that's correct. The 2, because it's our middle digit, is the tens place. Okay, so for that, remember, we're going to draw our sticks. So we're going to draw 2 of them. 2 sticks. Okay, and then our ones place. What's left? What is our ones place? The 1. That's correct. So we have our ones place. So that means we're only going to draw 1 dot. All right. Good job, class. Okay. So if we break down this number, 421, looking at our sentence frame, 421 has, say it with me, 4 hundreds, 2 tens, and 1 ones. Okay, so now we're going to break down this number in a little bit more of an abstract way using equations. Okay, so let's get the paper ready. Okay, so let's use the number, let's say 421. Okay, so looking at 421, we're going to break that down into equations. Okay, so the first number, remember, is the hundreds. So we're going to have, well, let's write the number 421 is going to equal 400 for the hundreds plus the tens, which is the 2, so it's going to be plus 20, and then plus the 1, which is in the ones place. Okay, so this is how we break down the number in an abstract equation way. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit slower. I'm going to have you guys do it with me. Okay, so let's look at the number 334. Okay, looking at the number 334, where is our hundreds place? The first 3, right? Not the middle 3, the first 3, okay? So let's highlight that in our hundreds place, okay? So 334 equals 300, right? Our hundreds, 300s plus, where is our tens place? Can you tell me where our tens place is? Yes, the middle 3. The middle 3 is our tens. Okay, so that's going to be 300 plus 30. Perfect. And then looking at our last number, what is our last number? That would be our ones, right? So what is our last number? 4. That's correct. So let's highlight 4. And then it's going to be 300 plus 30 plus 4, right? So using our sentence frame, we can also break this down, okay? So say it with me. 334 has 3 hundreds, 3 tens, and So this is how we break down the numbers in an abstract equation way, okay? So I'm gonna have you guys do a few on your own, all right? So let's look at the number 267. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a minute. I want you guys to think about looking at the number 267, okay? We learned how to find the place value of these numbers using our blocks, using the drawings, okay? And then also we just learned how to do it using equations, okay? So using one of those methods, I want you guys to think about what number is the hundreds, what number is the tens, and what number is the ones in this number, okay? And 267. I want you guys to think about it. And then using this sentence frame, okay, 267 has, I want you guys to fill in the blanks and tell me how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones, okay? So go ahead and think about that for a moment. All right, are you guys ready? So looking at the number 267, what 267 has how many hundreds? 2 hundreds, that is correct, okay? And how many tens? 6 tens, that is correct, okay? And then how many ones? 7 ones. Perfect. All right, let's say it again one more time together, okay? 267 has 2 hundreds, 6 tens, and 7 ones. All right, awesome job today, class. So that is how we figure out the place value for 3-digit numbers.